It's me, your physics teacher. So in class we discussed about chapter number 5, that is motion in a plane. So we are talking about motion in a plane. This is chapter number 5 in your 11th class. So first we define what is scalar quantity, what we scalar quantity and what is the vector quantity. Actually in physical quantity there are two divisions. First is scalar and the other is vector. So what is scalar quantity? For representation of this, we need only magnitude. We need only magnitude. For representation of any scalar quantity, we need only magnitude. For example, mass. Examples, mass, length, time. These are the scalar quantity. That means the quantity which have only magnitude, there is no direction. There is no need of any direction. Like we take an example of mass. If my mass is 60 kg, so I do not need to explain the direction of the mass. Only we represent mass equal to 60 kg. That is enough for any numericals that mass is 60 kg. Speed or distance. Distance equal to 40 kilometer. So there is no need of any direction. A body traveled 40 kilometer. It does not matter that body is going east or west. It only depends upon the magnitude. So scalar quantity is what? The quantity which have only magnitude and there is no direction. That quantity is called scalar quantity. So scalar quantity is clear. Now the vector quantity. Vector quantity, there are three conditions. First, there is a magnitude. Yes, magnitude is very important. There is a magnitude. Second, there is a direction. Direction is always needed to express any vector quantity. And the third condition that is very, very important, that is it follow vector addition law. It follow vector addition law. So there are three conditions for a quantity that is called vector quantity. First, it contains magnitude. Second, it contains direction. And third condition is it follow vector addition law. So one by one, I will take all the quantity that is related to the vector quantity. For example, suppose we are talking about displacement. If we talking about displacement, then displacement will be 40 kilometer. Now, if we represent displacement, then we need to tell the direction, like 40 kilometer where? East. Suppose two men A and B, their houses are 40 kilometer apart. If their houses are 40 kilometer apart, then we need to specify the direction. Then how much? In which direction relative to A, B house exist? East, west, north, south. So for displacement, we need direction. Okay. So displacement is clear. Right. The vector quantity which have both magnitude and direction. So in simple word, we can say in a scalar quantity, we need only magnitude, but in vector quantity, we need all these terms, that is magnitude, direction, and it for. Here are some examples. First examples for a scalar quantity, all the fundamental quantity like mass, length, time, current. Current is also a scalar quantity. And for vector quantity, that is displacement, velocity, weight, momentum. These are the vector quantity. So a scalar quantity and vector quantity is clear to all of you. Now in this chapter we studied about vector in detail. So first write down the next heading after this. Representation of vector. How we represent vector quantity. So representation of vector, how we relate vector quantity in diagram, how we represent. So in vector quantity, you all know that there is the axis, x-axis, x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. Okay, so x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. So we represent x-axis in vector from I cap. For y-axis, we need to express j cap, and for z-axis, we need to express k cap. So I cap, j cap, k cap. So if a vector is in three dimension, suppose it have a coordinate x, comma y, comma z. So that means if we represent vector or we represent OP, suppose we need to specify the position of P vector. So OP is x I cap, because x component is in x-axis and y component is in y-axis and z component is in z-axis. So OP vector equal to xi plus yj plus zp. Okay, x means coefficient of I cap, y means coefficient of j cap, and z means coefficient of k cap. So coefficient of I cap, coefficient of j cap, and coefficient of k cap. Is it clear to all of you? So OP vector equal to xi plus yj plus zp. And for diagram, we need to specify the direction. Suppose P point is from O to P. So the direction is in this way. So we need a vector that is containing an arrow. Arrow gives the direction. And it is also called head of the vector. And this point is called tail of the vector. So head and tail, clear to all of you? So for representation of vector, we need to specify the direction, that is x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. For x-axis, we need to specify in I cap. For y-axis, we need j cap, and for z-axis, we need k cap. I cap, j cap, and k cap. What is I cap, j cap, k cap? I cap is the unit vector along x-axis. J cap is what? J cap is unit vector along y-axis, and k cap is the unit vector along z-axis. So is it clear all of you that I cap is what? I cap is the unit vector along x-axis, j cap is what? Unit vector along y-axis, and k cap is what? Unit vector along z-axis. So representation of vector is clear to all of you. So now we come to the next heading, that is classification of vector quantities. Classification of vector quantities. So all of you write the next heading, classification of vector quantity. Classification, how vector quantity classified in two ways. First is polar form and the another is axial form. Polar form, polar vector, and axial vector. So what is polar vector and what is axial vector? So write the next heading, that is polar vector. First write the heading classification classification of vector quantity. First is polar vector. So what is polar vector? When the vector quantity has a well-defined starting point. So for polar vector, what will be the definition? When the vector quantity, all of you write in your copy, when the vector quantity has the well-defined, starting point. That means starting point is fixed. Starting point, then it is called the polar vector. Then it is called the polar vector. Okay, like the quantity which has defined starting point, like displacement. In displacement, starting point is fixed. Velocity, displacement, velocity, force. So in all these examples, the starting point is fixed. There is no confusion in starting point. If we applying a force of 5 Newton in a body of 2 kg, so starting point is fixed. So that force is called polar vector. Okay, polar vector is clear. Now the second one is axial vector. What is axial vector? So in axial vector, when the physical quantity represented by the vector is not confined along a straight line. So what is it means that when the physical quantity, if any physical quantity which are represented by vector is not confined along a straight line, but is described in a plane. So write down, when the physical quantity represented by vector is not confined along a straight line, but is described by a plane, that means for those quantity, if we need a plane to describe its motion, then that quantity is called axial quantity, axial vector. Like torque, at least. Like torque, angular velocity, rotational motion, in all the quantity of rotation motion. That means torque, angular momentum, angular velocity. All we need to define a plane. So that quantity is called axial vector. So axial vector is clear to all of you. Examples is torque, angular velocity, angular momentum. So all are called axial vector. So classification of vector quantity is clear to all of you. So in this video, we discussed about what is polar vector, what is axial vector. Classification of vector quantity is clear to all of you. Classification of physical quantity is clear to all of you. In physical quantity, that is two parts. First is scalar quantity and the other is vector quantity. So I hope all the concept is clear to all of you in this video. Okay, students.